Okay.
Continue story. Loading game. Where were we?
Start balik.
We start balik, but this is liberate the area, and then we have 5 characters already. Who is Colorik? Colorik is new. Oh, ada story dah.
Curry is
Jaya buka balik, tengok Colorik. Oh no, I can't click. Siapa Colorik? I
don't know who am I.
Torar.
Are you Tora ke?
Yeah.
Totera.
I anak.
Totera and Tora.
Yeah.
Taka is you kot. I'm Colorik
I think
yes,
so.
you are Curry. Taka Abang Zarin.
Oh, Mother Taka tu lah.
Beli
Yang Blai siapa?
Ai.
Blai siapa pula?
Blai Ai.
You juga.
You masuk akuarium ke apa tu? Betul-betul nak mendalami cerita.
Siap. Wow.
Stream today habis
Who's the narrator for today?
Ai kot.
Okay, Ai, let's go.
Aku tengok sejarah history
ingat saja.
Aku tulis
Tulis.
Sebelum ni Afu, before that is Aida, before that me. Ai je belum. Jangan lari, baru mak kau puas hati sikit. Dengar banyak cerita. Padahal sebelah je.
Okay. Aduh, suara tak ada lah malam ni.
Suara tak ada.
Mana nak
warm up. Buat warm up sikit.
La.
Kuku kaki kakak, kuku kaki. Okay. Cory and Tucker are called to a hill village when an acquaintance of theirs has lost his wife.
It's a hard thing, Death.
We forget how quickly things can turn.
Aku tak read along, patutlah.
Tekan.
Alright dah.
The funerary rites are brief. The crowd that's gathered is impressive for such small town. As morning disappears, Kari and Tucker spot Queenie standing by a Queenie dah tak tahu lah. Standing by a flower strewn cart bearing a leaf shredded body.
Crowded body.
Tak cukup kuat lah.
Oh ya, leaf shredded body.
Okay. Great, we were sorry to hear about Ulrel.
Tak payahlah jerit.
A lot of folks came.
Jangan. Friends. How many years has it been?
Sebab distance jauh, the character kena jerit sikit.
They go with him up the road to his name on the hill. You lose perspective sometime. Easy enough to do, sadly. You think you will have years together, decades. From your first cake to your middle years, old age then, but the two have Queen transfer the shredded body to a small prepared clay room beside the house. They settle inside and he tells them of his plan and the provincial custom he's overseeing. Greenville, it's called. A woven shout of Don Schwad grows thick around here. In the little woodlands, you'll see. It's a strong aroma, the body stay fresh, sometimes as long as 4 years or 5. We hills folks will generally build a clay home for departed on the house's shady side. The woodshed is the old word for it. It means memory house. And she do normally lie there for her term. When the shout of down shot turns blood, she will be buried.
Sounds like the ideal neighbor.
But I don't plan on waiting.
You don't plan to wait? So you plan to bury her soon? Tonight even?
No, my wife Ariel and I will be going on a journey, and I hope you do.
I tu macam dah pernah baca story ni.
Yep. Aku rasa pernah kot.
Tapi yang ni dia dengan wife dia before this gay couple.
Dia tukar-tukar kot.
Anyway, continue.
A hard sudden rain falls, glittering and drowning like a swarm. Yes, I hope you'll come. Be our escort. It's a dangerous world and you both are strong. Pandai-pandai je aku tambah ayat tak apa. Stronger than ever than I remember. Apa fikir lu? Aku tengah makan ni.
Okay. Asal dah pilih dah.
Oh, apa?
Wait. Is this the next one?
Ni macam start balik.
Oh, okay, maybe back. Forget.
F lah.
Maybe F. Okay, dah decide dah. And then siapa nak pergi? Rick, Tucker and
Beli.
hantar siapa? Last slot.
Nak hantar high level ke? High level will be Torterra.
Oh ya.
So they all go there. The remaining pergilah buat
Find
bandar.
item.
We have to clear ni.
Oh, dia tak clear. So that means more enemies. Ada enemies lah.
Just
Good
west
question.
of Flanelov. Outfitter. Queen leads his ox and cart, carrying the body of his wife down through the hill into the arm of an old forest. Mist roll as twilight takes hold behind a cloudy sky.
I'd have sworn we'd have a clear night.
Hard to predict. It's hill country, wild skies.
Believe I'm looking, shouldn't be far.
Can I ask about Laura? I don't think either of us ever met her.
Janganlah cerita.
I remember you talking about her.
Dah remember dah.
Remember me. I'm sorry. She never came with me to Grandbat. Always wanted her to, but she was never quite well enough, and she insisted on staying home and tend the farm. We met in the spring, Allah Akbar. I remember clearly. My grandma had just passed away. Oh my God. There's nothing more precious than a woman who can make you laugh even when you are hurting. We built a farm there on the rocky hill. She likes the farm, Uriel. She was kind and humble woman, shy though. She was born with an illness that never fully left. Our good times were great, but our bad time, when she could not rise from bed, those made my heart splinter, and one day it shattered. If there's one thing I know, it's that I don't want to live in the empty house without her. The forest has been that quiet when they entered. As they have gone deeper, noises have flickered into hearing drip, scrape, and low trills. The smell have turned richer of damp earth, spicy bark, filtered moss in purple, green, and beige. Soon the ox halt, and they come into a clearing where a goddess lives.
Oh,
Aku baru ingat tu.
Queen?
What is this?
Yes, I intended to find her. The reason I brought you all here. The reason I'm here. And you are here. And everyone here. You're Uruguay.
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Uruguay. She is a goddess of border and in-betweens. This realm of her welcome both dead and living. So I'm here to join her. You and I can be together still.
Queen, go slower. You're going to join her? How?
Being dead. Yeah. Look. It is this forest. I read about it. The goddess Uruguay rules it. Sorry. Like a region between our world and a place for the departed. I suppose it exists for us. For those like us. A place where I can be without pain. And I can be with you.
That's not right, is it? You're talking about dying.
I will be able to leave this place. But why would I wish to? I will still live. She will too. We will just live here. Panjang betul lah kau jaga ni, nak mampu-mampu je lah. You have to understand. This is what I want. All I need is for you to help me complete the ceremony and take the poor ox back with you. Do you have lover, Taka? Taka?
Mother tak ke?
Mother Taka.
I rasa bagi mati je lah.
Okay, jom.
You know it should be his choice.
I can't say I do different if Tora was in that card. Who's Tora? Okay, tak apa. Continue.
The warrior.
Oh.
Not that I claim to understand, there's no one I love enough, I suppose, that I go hunting the gloom with them forever. But alright, what's the first thing?
We will lay us both at the foot of the shrine, and then she will test us. Uruguay will.
Your test, huh? Well, fortunately, I'm one of the greatest cheaters there is.
It is dangerous. We must do with the with brother Uruguay guardian. That's why I needed you along. But if you decline, I will understand, and I will fight alone. Will.
You're not a fighter, Queen. Hold on to Uriel. We are getting an ox out of it after all.
They pull Uriel's shrouded body from the carpet. True to its reputation, the woven vine of Don Schwartz have kept her perfectly preserved. With Rel cross Queen's lap, the two rest at the foot of Uruguay shrine. Goddess Uruguay, hear me. Beneath your mercy lie two who wish to roam your realm together. Live in your land and laugh again. Please permit us to stay. Send your guardian and my champion shall stand to fight it. Send your guide and my love, and I shall go behind. Abracadabra! A garland of peace walk and twist round both tissue, arms and leg, and over their damp dusted cheek. The quiet air clumps in their throat. But then, the voice of Yue is gone far away and fell more than heard. Is in the stone and root and rises from somewhere deep down. Somewhere up there. A noise near them crashing through the trees. Trusted is tested.
Truth lah, but okay.
Oh, aku cakap apa tadi? I cakap apa?
Trusted.
Oh, trusted. Okay. Sebab sangat ada trust issues kan.
Apa, English your third language
Language
Entah second language dah apa.
Tak tahu. Kau dia. Oh weh.
Settle lah.
Settle. Benar di situ bang.
Level up.
Lagi sikit.
Tensi armor.
Oh, tutorial will end.
Retire.
At end of the
Daya.
chapter.
Oh. Oh, kenyang ya.
Siapa nak? If not, kalau Rick ambil,
Ambil.
Lah kot.
armor sikit bagi dia.
The Guardian falls, its reach to knees, shattering apart, rolling in the moss. The Wailing Rock gather dust and shadow as they are settled, until they look like they have rested there for centuries. The glade grows calm, and then quick start to fade. Goddess? The wrapped body of Riel across his lap seems to lose its substance. He has time to say thank you, friend.
Oh, yang ni line ending.
Which is the other ending.
Oh.
Well, now that's done.
Where's the ox got to?
Yeah, good thinking.
They find it not far off, blowing pleasantly and munching clover.
Boleh bawa combat ke? Nice, the wall's still there.
Dia tanduk.
For us it is, this world, and all we know.
Sniff. Zzz.
Good. Still wait.
I picked this up around the stones where Queen is disappeared. Didn't even think about it. I'm making notes.
They return to the farm Quail and Uriel once built. They set things in order and see that it's passed to a worthy family. Then they are on their way again. The road is pale,
Splotched.
splotched and torn in place with root and grass. Flashes of the journey are entirely wordless.
What's on your mind, Calric?
Those memories, old wishes of ours. It's hard to let the good things go. I know it is, and I feel sometimes
The wind picks up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A road the color of old canvas below, in front of them, behind them.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
10 tahun pencen.
Lagi methods. Okay, this one kasih patrol 3 orang okay ke? One continue.
Tiba Tora develop feelings untuk beli.
Oh, sangat oh.
Ya.
Tora.
War-
Oh, Tora boleh. Okay. Sorry,
Tora.
aku masuk Terra, Tora. Tak sangat.
Taka.
Tora
Ya ke?
Ha.
Tora
dengan
Taka.
Tora dengan Taka.
Best friends.
Lupa. Someone ada crush dengan Tora kan?
Aku
Ah,
lah.
Yelah betul lah. Tora dengan Taka. Betul lah. I confused. Sorry.
Bukan Totera dengan Tora.
Bukan. Itu kan. Saya ambil
Ambil.
Okay.
Okay.
Lupa lah pasal yang tu.
Crush.
Itulah.
It's just a little crush.
Scout sini, semua orang. Let's go. Then we settle this one and go up. Relocation.
Ooh.
Oh, later lah.
Later, that's the... Oh.
Petrol. Sempat kot. Assault.
Hot on the track of band of Emily. Enemies. Our interpret party race through the woods.
Well, less racing and more... Look, who knew they'd be able to hide that well? It's not a very dense forest.
Does anyone hear them? I hear yelling.
Help! Anyone! Let's go.
I smell burning.
Tangan Tora bakar apa?
Kan dia ni join api tu.
Oh.
The woods are on fire.
I got that, yeah.
Numa still put out the flame lah, lupa. Thank you. That got a little out of hand. Did Robin said that? What? No. It was a control burn. Bila pula ada control burn kan? Well, emphasize more on the burn part than the control part. Well, you set the woods on fire? Only some of them.
Oh, thank goodness. Otherwise, it might be weird.
Burning is very important for this wood. It keeps the flannel down.
Fennel, isn't that an herb?
Yeah, well, yes. People cook with it, but it grew 6 feet tall and make this tickets. So you have to burn it in order to save the eagles. Oh, ini bakar sawah ke?
Tak tahu. So you burn the woods to save the eagles who live in the woods.
It's complicated.
I can see that.
So, my name is Oatmeal. I'm here researching fire eagle. Maybe you could help me?
Are we setting fire to the eagles?
No, they are very rare.
So you want us to hunt one and bring it back to you to study, right?
What part of very rare was unclear. So this is complicated. There used to be a boar here, right? The boar were the only thing that would eat the fennel. Then people hunted all the boar because in addition to fennel, they were eating people. That's a problem, yes.
Not for the boars, presumably.
So once they killed the boar off, nothing ate the fennel, and then the fennel would get really thick, and Bunny loved this because the thick fennel meant the eagle couldn't see them. So the fire eagle ultimately starved because there were no boars. The food chain is a harsh mistress. I like bunnies.
Not as much as the eagle, is it?
Anyway, burning the fennel will keep the bunnies from being able to hide, so the eagle won't starve. But that's the beginning.
Beninging.
Now we have got poachers coming in to steal eagle chicks and sell them on the black market.
Tora Taka?
I think Taka kot. Korang?
Okay.
Korang nak baik ke?
Okay,
Korang nak
okay.
ke?
What's in it
Right,
first?
what's in
Nice.
first?
My eternal gratitude, the joy of helping Mother Nature.
Relax, Taka. It is the same group we were tracking earlier. Everybody wins.
There's a fire eagle nest about a half mile that way. Take out all the monster around it.
Banyaklah cekadak dia. Droven adanya tu. Cone of Fire.
Silakan.
Boleh tak boleh? I kena ke depan kalau nak guna. So, sekejap. Okay. Walai, 2 damage.
Finish it.
Nice.
Oh,
Ay,
Tak lepas.
alamak depan tu dah ni.
Okay, clear jalan.
Siapa punya ni target ni?
yang tu kan.
Oh. Alright, nice.
Tapi I ada tak trap depan tu.
Oh, okay. I duduk sini lah. Yeah. Oh, sekejap. Cone of Fire boleh ke? Bakar.
Okay.
Tong.
Level up.
Taka naik.
Rogue. Oh, dia armor.
I bagi caloric lah.
Okay. Oh, carrot tier O.
Kosong.
Alright.
Afterward. Oh no!
What is that thing? What? Is that one of the eagle chicks? Are we too late? What? But. What?
Oh no.
But.
I think it likes you, Tucker.
Let's see what Yotmir has to say. So we cleared out your poachers, but I think they already gotten a chick. But
Is it too late? Have we handled it and now it smells wrong and the mother trucker would
Huh?
take it back?
what the fuck?
Pandai-pandai tambah tu kan.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no mother trucker in there. Fire girl have no sense of smell.
So then can we put it back? And it will start hugging my leg and setting my socks on fire?
No.
What?
Baik.
That's not a fire girl. It's a fire chicken. Bak bak. The poacher probably brought it along as bait.
So what do I do with it?
I mean, they are pretty good in a mushroom sauce with some leeks.
Baik.
Anyway, thank you for helping with the potion.
So, what are you going to do, Tucker?
Entah, what do you guys feel?
Up to you. Since it's gonna be with you.
Kau tak
Okay lah,
dia
number
menjadi
one
macam
Pet lah kot.
Cari pet.
Think so.
Jadi macam apa, Lop hari tu Lop pun ada fire chicken kak.
Looks like you have a new pet. What are you gonna name?
I don't know, Sparky maybe. He looks like a Sparky.
Itu boleh pilih nama. Kau nak suggest apa, ayam api ke apa ke, ayam bakar ke?
Here's my pet. Ayam mas.
Ayam masak.
Ayam goreng McD.
Ayam mas ada kat Taipan.
Ayam
Ada.
goreng McD 3 kali extra spicy.
3 kali.
Ayam
3
mas
kali
ada kat
express
Taipan.
spicy. Satu set meal eh. Tambah set meal.
Snack plate.
Snack plate. Help.
Oh.
Siapa nak help?
Apa ni? Oh,
Fighter kot.
boleh tak saya nak untuk beli?
Ambil lah. Okay, dah siap ni. Kena pergi defend pula. Category. It's not coming out. No, are they coming out? In 20 days. Oh, siapa nak craft barang? Kita craft lah sebab menunggu.
Saya nak tukar beli punya
Macam tak cukup. Tak cukup apa? Not enough.
hardwood dengan speed thread 2. Hardwood 1, speed thread 2.
That's all.
Ya, might as well don't craft anything lah.
Simpan dulu.
Simpan je lah.
Oh, I salah tengok weapon.
Tak cukup.
Tak
Okay.
cukup.
So we just prepare defense there lah kalau sempat. Dah sampai. Urgent. Siapa nak Torterra?
Totera.
Torterra. Ada volley of arrow level 1. Let's go out lah. I'm gonna guardian kat sini.
ada. Alamak, nak kena pecahkan mendalah ni. Tak ya. Ada jalan lain ni. Pecahkan je lah.
Apa dia buat tu? Oh, dia pecahkan.
Pecahkan. Ada dua.
Oh yeah. Forgot about the villages.
Maybe the other villager yang dengan aku boleh tolong hancurkan dia ni.
Hancurkan lah. Boleh?
Attack scenery. Oh no need.
Dah
I
hancur lah.
hancurkan. Ya.
Saya nak letak volley of arrow.
Silakan. Alah.
Tak berguna.
Alright.
Pergi ke depan ni.
Uh. Oh.
Settle. Oh tak.
Tak settle.
Lagi.
Settle.
Lah, tak masuk range pula.
Kasi settle takor.
Takwa.
Tokwa.
Okara.
Tokwa.
Tuka.
You know what is tokwa? Tokwa is tofu.
Kita panggil dia tofu. Tofu fence spear.
Tokwa.
Oi. Dah lah tu nak attack orang diorang ni. Oh, boleh buat apa ni? Oh, tak.
Boleh volley of arrow ni.
Kat dalam tu.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Oh. Dia buat yang dekat ni.
Oh. Sampai ke tadi.
Baik.
Oh, sampai. Settle.
Apa?
Sambung.
Oh, lagi.
Mana lagi?
Dia belum spawn kan?
Oh,
Maybe belum spawn.
lah.
Is it? North side. Oh, tu belakang pokok.
Belakang pokok. Oh, tu.
North
Oh.
west. Kasih settle.
Muncul.
Ada?
Belakang pokok tu je. Oh, belakang pokok tu je. Ada dua.
Kasih bunuh dia.
Tak sampai. Tak sampai.
Oh, best lah. Counter attack.
Cis.
Nak cuba volley of arrow.
Oh, ya betul.
Oh, tak jadilah.
Ay, tak naik-naik yang itu Tera.
Nak sara dah kan.
Dah defend. Last one here, scout. Draven kan?
Tanya dah tak dia spend time with mummy.
Mommy got to go.
Mummy dah bersara, mummy nak berehat.
Slipping through my fingers.
Hapus. Hide spell track. Hide dengan fabric. 2 hides. Oh, the last fight ni.
Kita kalah kan?
I think this one we lost. So pergilah buat over here. Let's get started. Siapa pula the sickness ni?
Allah, Grandbat seems to drift the
Ini
in the
pernah
night.
buat kot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sickness tak kot.
A hunted sheep slicing still sea in silence. The village language. Language.
Languages.
Language is in the grips of an awful disease. Many lives taken, many more taken ill. SARS cause 2. Is that Tucker?
Oh, it's Mother Tucker. Bly. You look well enough.
No one is on the street but them. The sting of disease curl out each window. The cricket and the occasional owl songs are there to remember the world won't end tonight.
Is this also fate? I can't say I'm sorry to see you.
You feel something happening?
It hangs over me, Bly. A brilliant lodestar. I'm setting out tonight. I think you're supposed to come.
Are you okay? You don't sound like yourself.
We go to a wild place that appeared to me in a dream. There's a poison in this town that was born somewhere distant.
I don't suppose there a chance that this was a dream, just like any other dream.
No, I understand why you look. It sounds ludicrous, I know. If I'm wrong, at least we'll know I was wrong. And in that case, I'm also probably crazy.
The journey begins at downward tip of the year's longest night. Perhaps it's merely coincidence, or perhaps destiny hand has touched the scales.
Number one.
Number one, let's go. Siapa nak pergi? Tucker, Bly, kita hantar Aida pula lah. Torar.
Oh, rawr.
Rawr.
Ini lava strangers banyak ni.
Mana dia all go? Oh, over there.
Fog decays sometimes after the dark. It casts unhealthy shade over everything. So your idea is to attack this place, teeming with inscrutable
Malevolence.
malevolence in the very deep of the night.
The sooner we deal with it, the sooner it can stop weighing on my heart. Really, I don't think it's my choice at all.
As they approach gravel dream loom, an unfamiliar odor comes to them, chemical and thick, coating the inside of their cheeks, turning mealy in their mouth. Pressing on, the air grows denser, fouler, and then they see it. What do you call that?
Loot?
Something's made this thing. That thing. Tucker?
Oh, okay, jap. Okay, sorry. There's a ghostly allure to that odd glow it gives. It's clearly not here for any friendly purpose. Look inside that sphere. You can see our town suffering. Kind of obvious, I guess, but let's knock it to pieces.
Makes my bone itch and my nostril burn. Let's get on with it. As they move to destroy the strange edifice, a hiss flies in the air at their backs. The creature hasn't seen them. The mother bird guards her nest.
Destroy the altar first lah.
Before the beast can react, Tucker and Malay have torn the edifice down, destroying its balance article and topping the spell apart. Yeah.
Oh, good damage. Satu je. Settle lah. HP pun 4.
Mana dia?
Come on, do it. Dah settle.
Settle.
Tora tak payah buat apa. Tora hiasan je kat situ.
Biasan.
Nak je introduce.
Tak ada apa lagi.
Oh.
Nampak dia.
The Gorgon dead and glowing orb thing destroy. For a moment they can only stare at the twin wreck and hope this will be enough to stem the sickness. Well, hollow me out and call me a whiskey sack. Huh?
Yep, I guess that must be it, huh, boy? The future is solved.
The sun began to rise and the world awakened. In the course of a few months, the dark clouds of the Gorgon spell have blown apart, faded into memory. Tucker and I find no more reason to linger. They head home where they will find the wasting illness that threatened to overwhelm the town. Their town has literally vanished.
I don't know why, but I have that feeling something's over. Then I don't know what's next. I've always had the sense that all I gained was given to me for a reason, and sometimes I wish I didn't. But now there's a loneliness different than normal. So I mean, what do I do now?
Tucker? Look, probably the spirit of your ancestor will appear to you before season's end. Give you a new impending doom. Just enjoy the break while it lasts.
Ooh la la. Long reach heroism. Long reach heroism.
Extra attack.
Is a
Pergilah repair. Pergi buat jambatan. Tua pun.
Itu untuk apa tadi tu? Yang kita selalu macam minus Droven, Trickster ke apa?
Oh, he will upgrade the enemies.
Oh.
So instead of not upgrading, kita kena spend points lah. But the points get used to do other stuff as well. Macam recruit character and so on. Final fight. Troll. Jangan mati tau. Kau tak restart balik.
Oh yeah.
Okay, everyone dah full HP dah.
Ai.
Yeah, the dwarf charges up the yellow. Warlord, your enemies are across the ghost swell. Light fast on the wheel. You know, wishing Abuni
Pia.
Winking Prague. We bring us this news.
Yang ni dah baca. So,
Nak skip.
Ha!
okay je kau nak skip.
Skip lah.
Skip. Okay. Ya ke?
Skip ke apa?
After this door ada 3 boss. Satu boss and
Oh, the 3 boss thing. Okay, I'm gonna stand here. I got it. Stand beside me.
I stand beside you. Ching, Kadin.
Totera. Oh, satu lain. Okay, good, good.
itu
Please take your turn to take damage.
I guess I'm first.
You first, second. Oh, thank you. Teram sikit. Kasih mood sikit. Ow.
Sit baik block.
Ya, I want to ketuk.
Ketuk lah. Strike. Bodoh.
Yeah, one more time please.
Hebat attacker.
One more time. Oh, no.
Nice lah. Aduh. Lover's Vengeance
Dapat the level susah sangat.
Yeah. Dia sentiasa akan ada macam seorang yang tak berapa nak okay. Atau the other one macam, don't worry, I ada.
I think later when we go in, we stay close to each other. Masuk the blue colour thing?
Masuk the blue colour? Oh.
So I think they teleport us all over.
Oh.
Tak ada pula. Oh, just tunjuk the boss dah.
oh
Got it. You have to kill that guy, Slay the Bone Helm Knight. Focus on the Bone Helm Knight.
alamak. Okay.
Oh,
After
tu.
this, it's closer.
Tu main tu.
Oh, tak boleh finish. Get him.
Yeah. Like that.
Kill
dah faham.
Turbine.
Tak dia nak bunuh dia, but I boleh pergi depan dia.
Nak buat apa kat depan dia?
Senang.
Right.
Hey.
Dia,
Oi.
dia
Attack dia.
Okay,
Yeah.
dapat 3 damage.
Oh.
Banyak betul armor.
Wah.
Boy. Use your superpower. Bagus. Armor shred terus.
Nice. Oi.
Au.
Oi.
Attack.
Apa ni?
Jangan bagi chance. One more. Come on. That was easy.
Dia bakar.
Okay, ini semua belum baca.
Tuvia.
Two vein.
Okay, 2 veins falls.
Tak apalah, tu biar pun boleh lah.
Tuvia falls. Death is over his shoulder if he'll only glance the right. Raise me alone, skinny archer. But everything happening.
Oh no, kat belakang.
Coming from camouflage, a violin draw leers and half laugh. Asher is on in the raining. swing a long knife, whistling sharp while a spike neck will in his hidden hand.
Asal Tucker muka macam disappointed je. It's like, why?
Not interested.
Betul.
Not interested.
From above, then a sweeping shadow turns into a tall soldier. Nan o ninayin. Jangan cakap apa-apa. Iron Talon Troop Winding Park. Droven Warrior. Aku itu betul-betul mulut aku ni. The Droven Warrior stands grinning coil, measuring the field with frustrated eye. Run up front him, then move to guard the warlord retreat. It all takes less than 6 breaths. The battle is still wildly undecided. If we let the warlord live,
I'm here to cut chains, Todero. Cutting heads has to come second.
tiga.
Objective now.
Think
Kill all. Okay, everyone stay close. Jangan mati.
Alright. Oh, I'm out of action.
Dang it.
Kill that guy person.
Zuvai.
Zvoy.
Aduh. Why?
How dare you?
Apa ni? Tak aci lah. Dua tu.
Okay. All in on Zvoy.
Oh, Zuvai.
Apa benda ni? Dodge dia.
Dia dodge lah tadi.
50% dodge.
Ya tu.
Terima kasih.
nice.
Baik.
So dia regenerate pula tu. 3 health.
There you go.
Oh.
Alah, pantul.
Siap. Oh. Oi.
Kill what you can.
I'll try.
Got your back. Thank you. Baiknya. Thank you.
Kita tak nak. Oh, dah lah
That one
dihidden.
Spectre stat.
Okay, dah hilang sebab tu stack.
50% though for me. Siapa paling increase Zuvak? I 50% je. My accuracy not that high.
Oh, I tak boleh buat my cone fire. Nanti Totera kena. Kalau I strike.
No.
Tak. Oh, okay. I think I know.
Zuvak!
Mana?
Zuvak!
Oh, tak apa.
Eh,
I ada what you call it? I hit
Cleave,
other people. Cleave.
aku juga terlalu long range.
Kan? Long range cleave. Ketuk belakang. Oops, lupa nak attack belakang.
Oi.
Stand beside me. So kau boleh counter. There you go. One more time.
Yay.
Mak ya. Tora. What are you doing?
Oh.
Don't leave your mom behind.
Dia gerak nanti boleh attack dia. Rasanya. Sebab Guardian.
Oh, juga. Dia tak nak gerak pun.
Oh, okay. So, ayah.
Kata.
Senang.
Kenapa hari itu kita mati?
Banyak kali buat tu.
Itulah tu.
Yeah, Wan. Siapa nak tukar baju?
Ai, nak baju tu cantik ke apakah?
Yes.
Yes.
Boing.
Sabar. Like,
Hmm.
oh.
Reaction strike.
Aura. Engage.
Nak opinion ke?
Tak nak.
Your opinion doesn't matter ni. Kena game apa pun.
Kena game.
Oh. Oh.
Akhirnya tu Terra.
Oh, Terra.
Sarah.
Semua naik level lah.
Kecuali aku.
Actually, except for Taka.
Siang ke.
Apa ni? Black
Black
Net.
Net. Hmm.
You have to throw it with one hand.
I think Taka is the ni. Oh,
Taka.
kita nak salvage. You want Taka?
Nope.
Okay, salvage. Dia buat baju.
Taka.
Sorry. That's a face I won't soon forget.
We will move together. Who knows how many more are left? We will find the captive alive, at least.
Oh, yang ni Droven.
We should stop Warlord. Rest by the rock, by that rock formation. Rock would see it because this guy looked more injured than me. We should have chosen some better.
Hmm.
It was who I had. Ruya was indebted to our order. The sentence of exile was wrong by my mentor. Is guarded to vein secretly for 9 years. Unerring. He was an egg eater, and you were lucky he was there in time. The warlord lied. No, I wasn't lucky. I told him to be aware, to be where he was, and he was there. I made contingency and kept your warlord alive, but your intervention was late. Plug.
Boleh caci pula.
You gave us no time. I only made it as soon as I did because I heard fighting. Berapa banyak lagi korang nak bercakap? So sudahlah bergaduh ni. It was out of my hand. Those soft scroll came in faster and stronger than
Ever before.
that. Our forces behind us masquerade. It gives me no pleasure to say so, but there's a reason they won the last two wars. Truznak call them what they are. Beasts. This is what they say is proven, and Droven is in the beast. So we are beasts together. A beast family, weeping at throat, roaring into darkness, weeping and mocking and chain giving to each other wherever it went. A sick and sad family is, I think, we all. We dug out tunnel, dark and mine, in and down and in, looking for things, differences, full rock, smallest one thing.
Just not a particular color or I don't know, shine.
Did you find what they wanted you to find? No, our family didn't anyway. We were kept in families together, news got around neighbor to neighbor, chain to chain. I think you have heard something. Just not the Roman law secret one I once read it. The books he liked were full of lost legends. Some deal with a whole stone that summoned mountain to itself. Those were the names. Voila, says that. Happening a lot. So vague. You meet a picture that is really green. Illuminate. Explain. Say. Do you think Droven and human is same? I am meaning a thing I am difficult to say. Don't let this swarm either of you. We are not weak. Still, you have loyal forces abroad, Warlord. That side was only one of several hope and nearly exhausted anyway. We'll go farther now to the place no one cares for. And if we must, we will dig with Droven arm. Our warrior need grinding and making tough, don't they? Why? Tu Tera, I grew up.
Akulah.
Oh sorry.
Totera.
Aku dah semua benda aku dah baca sana ni.
I grew up with dragon tales. Parents call me a dragon sometimes, teasing. I mean, these stories are parables about being a greedy, hoarding monster, which, by the way, I'm not. Anyway, you're not meant to take them literally.
And yet, dragon there were once. To be Droven, they were monster and fathers. 5 dragons, one of each season, and the 5th who went away from the world. Your family comes from true antiquity, Tucker. You were called Dragon Slayer, and that's not for no reason, I think. But yes, few Droven now holds them to be more than myth. Origin myth, draw snack, or the bill they claim has always been the dragon bloodline.
Well, but a name can be, or at least I've come to think, a name, some ancestors sometimes can make anything up.
Under earth and under rock, under numbered years, under. Dragon flesh to the stone decay, dragon hearts to opal heart, and death become their own life age to spark in later days.
Well, if they dig for dragons, they'll dig a long time, is my feeling. At least they'll do it with their own claws. Not human sweat and tears, not slaves.
Alhamdulillah.
11 years of
of
peace.
Eh,
11 years. Damn.
Totera dah retired lah.
During the years of peace, Tucker and Tora come home to their smiling, eager, listening daughter, burdened with a life weight of story and wish to entertain her. Ada anak dah?
Wah. Anak angkat, anak angkat.
Anak tu.
Adopted.
Anak
Oh,
angkat.
Some
My
tales
dadas.
were sad and moving, others bitter and adventurous. Rarely in the years that follow would they or their girl far apart.
My dadas.
Itu dia.
Rothma fancy.
Oh.
Rotma. Siapa nak?
Totera
Summon.
kena ni kan.
I laku
Oh, okay. Dah?
I ambil apa?
Sekejap, Aida nak ambil.
I dah nak ambil anak dia.
Okay lah, I ambil lah itulah, I perasan nama dia. Alah, I tak suka lah nama tu. Entahlah.
Lepas tu tak suka I ambil lah.
Tak.
Dah biasa dah you tak suka I ambil.
Nama dia Rosma. Tak apa, I boleh ambil. Okay. So, Thornfang refunded an action point after a melee
Nak
kill.
opinion ke?
Ah.
I rasa yang Fox Flight tu okay. Apa?
Yang Fox Flight, I rasa Ton Feng lah.
Jam-jam lagi best.
Kan?
Yeah. Aduh. Aduh. Oh. Ambil jam jok.
ni? Bli join Admir and Kum Kiwal documenting species and studying their Greek casual webs.
Some parents ask sekejap. Some parents ask their children, when are you going to, settle down? Not before, that's for sure. Not before you, that's for sure.
Bli spent a month tracking a golden stag. Oh, yang ni lagi. Bla bla bla. Snack helafu ni dah tahu dah apa dia. Oh, ni tak tahu. One of Torania Tenerife first challenge was when Tucker asked them to tan the height of buffalo twice as large as anyone had ever seen. How did you?
I think it was easy. Finding a cart willing to pull it back. Now that was a trick.
The warrior tried to recover after his defeat, turned his army loose upon the land, bringing pity-driven faction under his ways. The Great Dig became a rite of passage among his soldiers. A gauntlet of endurance, a point of pride. They serve no true purpose, only make them more noble, fit for warriors. The warlord aged and grew more independent, less rely on those he once clung to. Settling farmers' dispute was easy compared to the life or death decision Totera was used to, and she took well on being a judge. Her solution always seems obvious in hindsight. Totera has retired. No longer. Baik. Ni siapa pula? Anak siapa ni?
Anak Kelric.
Ada
Anak Kelric pula.
Marcus Nopat.
Marcus Nopat.
Siapa nak Marcus Nopat?
You nak ke tak nak? You tak nak, I ambil.
You ambil lah.
Okay.
Lawa anak dia.
Jangan puji sangat. Bapak dia kembang. Apa tak
Apa
keluar?
jadi ni?
Itu apa?
What's happening?
Tapi cakap jangan puji kan tak keluar. Mampus tak keluar.
Hang ke apa?
Apa jadi ni?
I cannot click anywhere.
Cannot see anything.
Ah,
FPS saya 2 tu lah.
I dengar bunyi dia flipping tu.
Sama
Dia
lah.
tengah cari chapter apa sekarang?
Mana buku? Tolong. Diorang dah banyak kali kalah ni, cepat. Ni first time diorang menang.
Tak sangka.
Tak sangka.
Oh, no.
Sampai macam ni sekali ni kau.
Mana ni?
Takkanlah kita nak keluar masuk balik, Bisham.
Nampak, let me restart lah. Nampaknya dah
Choice.
start dah.
Ya. Baca je kot. But
Tadi dia keluar.
But I think dia auto save ke atau dia?
should be.
Jangan tahu tu save ke tak, aku maki je.
Save corrupted terus
Oh my god. Mulut jangan capu sangat. Slipping through my fingers.
Invite to lobby. Invite to lobby. Invite to lobby.
I think I kena restart balik lah because I cannot press play. I tak disconnect patutlah.
Oh, I terus keluar.
Multiplayer, join the game.
Trying again.
Ada tak? Yeah.
Restarting.
Tu.
So, I ada try any new kedai?
Where?
Mana-mana lah.
In Kedah?
Ada.
No, I sebenarnya dah lama tak macam I keluar rumah. Tapi I just tolong my parents bawa kereta je. I tak keluar pergi kedai, duduk kat kedai. I keluar semalam pun pergi McD je.
Apa jadi ni?
Kenapa dia macam ni?
Indians lead up to the retirement. Tutera was settled.
Oh, dah. Oh.
By some.
Okay, dah.
Oh my god.
Apa hal ni?
I langsung tak buka.
Dia main showing
Ah, ada
something.
sikit, Allah.
Sikit je.
Allah.
Who
Kau kena
benefit?
restart game ni.
Aku try tekan number 1.
Okay. Fuck.
I can't even see anything.
Oh,
I mean,
dah.
as
Who benefit more from
I tekan Rosma.
Rosma.
Number.
Settle. I tak tahu kenapa dia dapat.
I
level
tekan.
up terus. Okay,
I tekan.
Okay.
Level up terus.
Siapa roh dia ni turunkan
Rotma.
Totera turunkan.
Oh.
Rotma
Turunkan
dapat
tata.
somehow.
Apa Rohma?
Ni. Grey plane for free macam mana tu?
Jadi invincible.
Oh.
Invisible. After you kill someone terus invisible.
Oh. Macam menarik.
Ada transformation.
Oh wow.
Alamak. I
Tora
cannot see
kaki dia
anything.
pun lah.
Kaki transformation. Tora.
I tak nampak. I still lagi dekat Tutera punya ni.
Nak ke tak?
Nak kaki tak?
Nak.
I tak nampak apa Tora
Okay.
punya ni.
Tekan je lah
Apa?
dulu
Okay.
in order to continue.
Tahu dah gear upgrade dah.
Okay, upgrade tak? Oh, now dia baru start back properly kot.
Rohma.
Okay. Siapa nak? I
Saya
want to
nak
change
upgrade.
my...
Alah, Rotma. I think Rotma patut upgrade.
I'm using a mage weapon now the whole time.
Okay, I dah upgrade barang I.
Damage
Hide
5.
to Fabric banyak.
Mana nak cari range?
Boleh ke saya upgrade si siapa ni Marsha punya
Malay.
boleh.
Upgrade I dulu. Then I upgrade ni apa Rotma punya baju. Pisau tu pun kena lah. Ingot banyak kan. Apa I upgrade?
Boleh.
At least semua tier 1 okay lah. Untuk level dia.
Okay lah.
Hard move. Oh, hard
Anything
move
else
tak
we
mana.
can buy? Anyone else upgrading?
Not me.
I nak
Chance.
ada okay.
I browse je, so don't worry. Dia tak ada nak upgrade apa-apa kot.
You upgrade apa?
Tak sure lah pakai apa. Maybe I'll just use this stuff for now lah.
I nak upgrade ni lah. Great X.
Silakan.
I upgrade one of Tora punya weapon.
Dah.
Mana Oh dah tak boleh. Tak apalah. Alright. Dah habis.
apa lah. I'll use this stuff first lah.
Oh,
Here's the wall itself. Shallow the mosaic. The most ancient place of nurse and ancient hunger. So the Devon says. None of the Devon I know. What's the smell? Dawn was cool
lupa
at
nak
the
read
fifth
along.
excavation. The mountain had rung like a bell all through the spring. This morning something changed. Wing Brak. He was standing there, where the shadows almost there. Almost. They reach you. Wing Brak. I'm glad. I'm glad there are only shadows then, not spears. Apa aku baca ni? Vincent. I do begin to wonder if there was ever something you feared. I carried my smell much longer than others. I was born afraid even
Borsal.
with training it teach bones the movement of courage. Bravery is a hope we have. When it fails, that is when training must take command. And then the winged knight turns and walks through solid rock. Benjamin! Devon, what do we do? I'm not the one with the extra big thick act. You go first. The wall doesn't open as much as allows passage. The Droven drip through, unsure what will they see. Tamfil, come forward in small, soft step. He's it along. There's a maggot in the meat. The corpse of Alsac lies still, full of punch in a spool of his own blood. What the Sheep lays across the glassy floor like creeps that petal on still water. Now I know what I smell. Black? Quieter. Black, yes. The blood of these creatures is said to smell the same. The Masak must have gotten his death price from them. I think we need to hurry. This may be the find we were hoping for. The Akor whispered through the briar, and I know that's only wind story for kidlings, but I once saw a spider fly spin the archway out of light and walk through it into oblivion. Stay within our guard, Devon Russell. Let's back out and assemble a few more. Allahu Akbar. A gentle cheater. Roses. Aku nak cakap benda lain ni. Roses. The last word from her sentence. It almost sounds of rain, and it almost seems to come from their anxious reflection in the glossy stone, but then rises to a clitoris.
Clitoris.
Aku dah cakap dah. Clitoris drone. Oh my god. Kena edit tau.
Macam mana nak edit live?
This has been upgraded to 80 plus.
18XX.
Aduh.
I submit this dia. Aku dah 2 kali dah tersebut benda tu tau. Hari lah.
Oh, science.
Dah.
Okay.
Or perhaps there is no time. Forward with me, everyone. We are the warlord hand. This gift, he claims, we shall take it. I am your wife. Wife plus live Brewster Winchin. Klak! Aku dah tak betul dah ni.
Dan aku 3. Shadow
dah.
Deepen.
Oh my god,
Eh?
glitter.
Terus combat terus.
Hah?
Back.
Apa ni?
Wow,
Oh.
we are taking charge of this.
Oh, that's
Okay,
new.
jap let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kita 4, 2 orang
I want the plak.
You want the prak?
I want the plak.
I don't
Prak
want
kita
any.
bagi prak dan
That's
satu
8.
dart kamu ambil.
So
Ya,
8
bagus.
divided by 4.
Oh sorry.
Siapa nak stamp?
I want the last two lah, dart and fang bow senang.
Dart dah ambil dah.
Ah,
Dia ambil fangbow dan storm throat.
boleh.
Ada any preference? Tinggal the left side je.
Yang mana yang belum ni?
Thumb, bone guard, visceral, horn.
Bone guard dengan versal kot.
Okay, dah. Please enjoy your character.
Alright.
Kill all enemies. Kriya and Versal must survive.
Alah, dia block bodoh. Oh well. Versal.
Tak boleh mati loh.
I control apa
Bottom
lagi?
tak ada. Thumb ni apa ni? Range. Oh.
I control dart ni ke?
Okay. Apa? Siapa letak benda tu? Throw
Apa?
net.
Boleh harass orang.
Oh,
Time to harass.
Eres.
That
Harass.
sounds wrong but okay.
Don't worry, dalam ni tak apa.
Yang mati pula.
Bone guard tu.
Siapa Fembo?
Ni, jangan fikir nak buat apa.
Tembak dia.
Dia piak dengan versal, tak boleh mati. So oi, dah tu. Mana pula nak ikut situ kan? Oi, banyaknya. Oi. Bone guard is okay. Alright.
I stand beside you.
Versal.
I also stand beside you.
Pasal di sini.
Stump pakai apa lah?
Stamp lah. Melee.
Kalau dart,
Range.
I see. Okay, I bagi you another action. Tak boleh, sana.
Siapa?
Tak boleh pun. Prompt an attack from a draw or within 5 tiles or kena down 5 tiles. Okay, jap. Okay, dart.
Attack lagi.
How do I do it?
Target dia.
Oh,
Oh, you shoot for him. Ya, jangan mati.
Piak orang versal tak boleh mati.
Go sell the wing beat.
Lagi. Oh, kat belakang ada. Tak perlu
Some is on the
biar
way.
dia datang. Eh, alright.
Settle.
Oh, tak boleh claw pula.
Oh, you stand near. Ya, boleh heal.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe Joven Blood ke?
Maybe.
No, stop going to die.
Stasis. Alah pula.
Apa yang
Leader.
apa yang that orange color ah?
Entah, pihak guarding Guardian kot.
Okay.
1 damage. Nak kena kejutkan bone guard.
Tak boleh harap.
Tak apa aku tolong.
Kena jerit baru dah buat kerja.
Itulah. Selamat. Oi, dah. Oh no. Oh. Dah
GG.
tu. Kenapa stasis benda ni? Ya. Okay. Someone boleh finishkan the seeker.
Pintu.
Nice.
But we need to shoot. Kill that guy also.
Lah depan mata pun tak mampus.
Jeritkan dia.
Jerit.
Oi!
Buat kerja, woi. Alah. Jerit untuk jalan.
Aku tak boleh gerak dalam.
Rest manager tu.
Oh! Bagus lah, boleh fly lagi.
Oh. Asal supaya control ni.
Tengok. Bawa 5 orang.
I think range berkumpul kat Bard tu kot.
Nah, buka pintu. Buka pintu. Itu attack door. Buka open door. Open the door. Ni baru buka.
Ada lagi ke?
Yeah, the back there.
Oh. Stop. Siapa dart?
Nice thumb.
Ganas.
Thumb. Okay. Stand beside you.
You melee kan? You go melee that guy, then I can.
Yeah.
Aduh ya.
Ah,
Anyone nak bunuh
So-
Dweaver ke tak ada kan?
Tak ada.
jadi dua orang kecil.
Oh, Haunt I tak boleh buat apa-apa lah. Dia kena stump atau dart.
Oh. Ini certain. Dia kena ranking below lah.
Oh,
Oh no. Tapi yang penting pihak dengan
sama.
Stroll lah.
uh-uh.
Those two cannot die.
Alright. Ni boleh claw kot. Armor shredded juga.
Wow. 3 more.
Oh, Versaw bahaya.
Oh, so
Betul lah. Depannya.
Kau tak boleh attack.
siapa Haunt?
On
Oh,
kat
oh wait, it's
situ.
me. Dia boleh move attack move.
Nasib baik. Oh, Versaw kena lari.
Run.
Sekejap.
Cabut.
Versaw.
Tengok tu. Itu barulah warrior.
Habis.
Together they push through the final fine treated door. Even here issue. I think I'm going to build my ear up. The egg shape overglows. The silent egg sharpen the echo of each movement, each exhalation. Sleepy smoke part of its curved surface curl into the mountain dark. Thunder? Oh, sorry. Imagine all the happy heads laid at peace among the
Foliage.
foliage and fern, never dreaming such a thing might exist. Even driven ball, colossal, this is your life world. Yes, it is the egg. It's like being able to reach out and touch. I never thought I would truly see it. Vision Prak. My teacher, my mentor, my master. Apa ni? Sekejap. Tiba pula hilang mana aku baca. Does not all to have been here. He deserved to stand where I stand, and I wish I could speak to his ghost and offer him that. It is because of you that anyone stands here now. In fossy glass jars of what must have been a numerous dragon gazing on it, still smoldering heart, you see. Right now, Defense you are the last of our order, but have fulfilled their founding home. It is early yet to call it a fulfillment. With the tricks of that, the mountain duck Adri is laid open. Oh look, you triumph, your soldier fought with courage. Oh Lord, I am surprised to return today and finding you all disappear under the ground. What is happening? What has happened? Tell me. Convening in the private light, a short hike from the deep pirate gave a brief retelling of the battle, and Versal outlined what comes next. Or put more steam. There is a need to explain it in another way. A dragon is a exception thing. A dragon to hatch from its egg, it must be nested in dragonburn stone and the ash of a dwarven hill. Well understood, yes, Warlord. Ranger Brock, you stand and become quiet, signaling to me the bright wandering behind your eyes. What thinking, or what's your insight on this? You overestimate me, Warlord. My question is just whether the will wall is a true need closest such is. Closest to meet this what condition? Will wall is far from our center and close to unsettled land. It is not distant from that place we were last defeated. Ancient Brack voices concern also. Can you think of any place near that will suit our purpose? Oh, what a wonderful question. No. That satisfied me. I hope you will be listened to Ancient Brack, and Pak Versal knows the law best. We will do as he instructs. You and I will go together. Sebak? Right. We will make my dragon a safe nest. Bigger force is needed to stay to guard Versal and egg. But you and I together is a great force itself. A small force is sometimes best. Smart, yes, Warlord. You heard him say, I suppose, he's dragon. He is the Warlord. He's very much is. Also, I dislike the feeling I have. I hope. But send for me when you know what details you would need and any nest cleaning required for the act. You have my gratitude, Pigeon. I believe that I do, and you will have mine. If all prove as you say, please stay revive. Be safe, aid, be wise, traveler. All your hard fight will be worth it, friend. Akhirnya.
Wah,
Allah, apa lagi ni?
siapa ni?
Rotma.
Oh, been a while since there was a clear sky for a full moon.
Notice you were looking a little closed in. You alright?
Whenever you were away, long time ago now, Grandpa Bronven and I would sometimes sit by the window, all the candles out, the lanterns dark.
And if the
And
moon was full. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Betul kan?
Takut.
I think dia cerita kot.
Oh.
Huh?
Rofma cerita kot.
Okay.
Okay.
And if the moon was full, Grandpa would tell stories about when you were small and about the family, our history. Those are the best memories I have with him.
Dad. I miss my dad. And I miss the time we never got to have together. I was happy you would grow close to our family, but I want those days back sometimes.
That is how I've gotten you out here on the trail with me, finally, right?
Reaching the place they are staying, Tucker and his daughter Rodma find they have a stranger visitor. It pulled from the message tube that hangs around its neck. A poorly scribed note. With the doll is plus. Droven Warlord Tuvan will be. This map is to find Trolls Road.
Travel roads.
Apa-apa je lah. Confucius the first. Then he is not escape in season of the seesaw by the seashell. The company convinced a few days later.
Suppose I don't quite know what the name means. Willard Wall?
Bellwall. I've heard it in the poet notes. There's tales about elves who roved the sea and landed here once. Their city was Wellwall. It was burned away by a big dragon. I mean, it's all myth and ancient, who knows?
It is an awkward and doubting march they embark on soon after. Dusty Fear present
Desolate.
desolate panoramas, wriggling, half-rooted fence posts clattered in their socket. The wind is childish today, tugging its loose teeth.
Still think it is a lot to believe. A lame piece of bait to go ahead and bite.
We'll know pretty early on if it's bad information. Because if it's all as the note says, we'll own their supply line and the path they are reinforcing will take. And the two routes our quarry might fall to safety.
It's only, why does this particular bird sing to us now? I wonder that.
They came under the same broad skies they ever did. But faces are old, some are quite the opposite.
Rodma? Not your watch yet, girl. Or are you having trouble with the tent situation? I know it is a little weird at first, crowded. Flames are pretty high, aren't they? I'm suddenly a mess inside that. Or no, I'm not. See, I know this is what I want. Maybe it is just nerves, thinking like my story should start momentously. Story is a word it is intentionally not the same as life, you know. Too many people find disaster trying to live a story. You said that one before. The thing for me is like, you have to try to live more than an average life, I think. If you don't, maybe you will live less than one. What's wrong? I still don't know and don't know how I like the idea of you following our path. What you will have to learn, what you will have to see. My eyes can't stay innocent forever. And I've ever wanted was to be like my parents. Well, marry a beautiful man. Maybe it won't be a storybook, but I won't aim low.
In the morning, they will continue on, angling towards pair of outposts where Droven roads run.
Well, my wood go. Siapa lah bakar semua kayu?
Dah habis belum?
Dah lah kot.
Dah
We
kot.
end it here.
Okay.
Chapter 3 sounds nice.
Rotma, ada marka.
Apa dia?
Rotma, ada marka.
Rotma and Marka.
Rotma is Aida. Marka siapa?
Marka is me.
Marka Snowpot.
I thought you cakap Rosma ada marka.
Sekejap,
I was
Tora,
like, huh?
Tora is Aida
Yeah,
Rar.
Rohma?
me.
Aida.
Aida lagi, okay. Takemi. Blai?
Me.
Me,
Saya.
okay.
Ai.
Marka?
Saya.
Ai kak.
Ai.
Ai.
Okay.
Tengah
Yeah.
angkat tangan ni.
Tarik
Kat
is
depan kan.
Lah.
tak senang nanti nak ingat. Kan ada orang kata ni siapa-siapa narrator tak tersalah orang kan. Cik.
Dua-dua baca
Tak salah
sekali.
kan. Cuma kita diam je. Cuma kita diam je lah.
Oh, by the way.
Yep.
Rotma sebut as Rotma bukan Rosma
Rotma.
Oh.
Rotma.
Ingat kan narrator seterusnya? Penat lah aku.
Baik.
Chapter 3. I think total how many? 4 or 5 kan?
5.
5.
So 2 more sessions habis lah kot. Then kena wait for next update
Pak Ai je panjang lebar ni dialog.
Yang
Apa dia?
This
Pak Ai
campaign ni panjang.
lebar.
Dah 2 kali dah. Dah 2 kali dah kena macam tu. Banyak kali dah.
Dah biasa lah.
Dah biasa lah.
Practice English kan kau nak kan?
Apa dia?
Kau nak practice English kan aku cakap hari tu.
Itulah tu. Dah habis degree dah ni. Kelas English pun dah tak ada dah.
Okay then. Good
Okay lah.
game.
Terus
Good.
we stop here.
Yes.
Cik.
GG.
Cai.
Good night.
JJWP.
Night.